Welcome back, everybody. So tell me, wouldn't you like to have night vision in your car? I mean, you can just go out in the middle of the woods late at night, no headlights on, nothing, but yet you can still see all the trees, all the animals, and you're just out there sneaking around, nobody's the wiser. Maybe I'm weird, but I thought that would be pretty fun. So I made it myself. Now this is actually a part 2, so if you're interested, you can go back to part 1, links will be down in the description. Otherwise, let's get right to it. So in case you don't remember, in part 1, picture quality on this was terrible. So we're gonna swap it out, try this one. This is the infrared illuminator I used, or floodlight. You may remember we were getting a lot of pulsing, and there was also a bright spot on my hood. I think the pulsing was being caused by the electrical system in my truck. So now, in order to prove that that pulsating is coming from my vehicle's electrical system, I've made up this cable that has female bullet connectors on one end to plug into my infrared floodlight and security camera system. The other end has a couple of clamps that'll hook right up to this battery I'm going to keep on the floor of my truck. That way, this is totally isolated from the vehicle's electrical system, and if we still have a pulsing, then I know it's not associated with the power coming from my truck. So a big part of me is thinking it's actually something to do with the voltage regulator that's built into the infrared light. So if I unplug, this pulsing will go away. There you go. So that's everything with the infrared floodlight unplugged. Our visibility is hampered and it's very grainy. So just like last time, you guys can see when I have my headlights on. So let's go ahead and start the timer. We're going to compare it to our old times from the last time we did this, and we'll see how I did with the different camera and the different and the lights being powered from the battery on the floor, which is kind of disappointing because I thought I would get rid of the pulsing doing that, but as I mentioned, that seems to be something internal with the floodlight. So now, on the last video I posted, we had some discussion in the comments about different ways that we could make this better. And, you know, my original ethos on this project was that I would make night vision for as cheap as I possibly could, you know, like less than 50 bucks, and for the cameras and the spotlight, and using a TV I found on the side of the road. But the problem that I'm running into now, like anybody who saw part 1 knows that this is already way better. There's no big bright washed out spot on the hood, and the pulsing has been greatly reduced at the very least. But there's still, like, it's so grainy, and the motion blur is just horrendous, isn't it? I mean, that's going to be a big hindrance. Even if I fix some other aspects of this, that motion blur is gonna be a big problem when it comes to reducing my times. But that's something to worry about later on. So we had discussed different placements for the camera and the lights, because I have them both up on the roof right now, and maybe if I moved the spotlight down to the bumper, as some people had suggested, that might end up, I mean, I've already gotten rid of the washout spot on the hood just by changing, well, two things. I changed to the black camera, and also I changed, sorry, it's hard to, oh boy, that's gonna leave a mark. Hard to, talk. Hard to think while I'm trying to manipulate this vehicle through this maze of trees without any lights. Whew. But anybody who saw part 1 knows I'm doing incredibly well right now, because the last time I tried this, I wasn't able to get through this part of the trail without turning on my headlights. I could not even once. And I've done this, I don't know, like 4 times in that video, and I've tried it a couple times on my own since. So I did get some practice in, get a little bit better. But man, this is so difficult. You wouldn't believe. I mean, you know, like over here to the side, there's another tree, and it is so close. I only have a few inches on either side if I get this perfect. But the problem is you can't see wide enough to see where all these trees are. So maybe a wide angle camera of some kind. I'm sure that a wide angle security camera exists. Or maybe I could put a wide angle lens on this camera. That might be a way to do it. But so that's another big problem that I'm running into is this maze that I've set up, or this trail through the woods, is there's a lot of spots like this where it's very tight and you only have a few inches on either side. And as you can see, poof, that thing's gone. Now that one's gone, and I still have several feet of truck to go. So I just kind of have to remember where those trees are as I'm weaving through this maze. And that's the most challenging part of this whole endeavor, honestly. So I had discussed in the comments with another user, I can't remember their name, apologies, but I'll put it up on screen for you. And we were talking about modern vehicles that have park aid systems. And there's some really cool things going on with that nowadays. There are, you know, whoa, that big bump scared me bad. There are sensors, you know, that just like backup cameras, and then there's sensors that beep when you're closer. But what I was talking about is the parking aid systems that show you a top-down view. So you got cameras in the mirrors, you got cameras in the front, you got cameras in the back, and on the screen, on the radio, you'll get one conglomerated image of all of these things together. And time, 5 minutes, 14 seconds. That's pretty good. All right, folks, let's do that one more time. I'm gonna do you a quick little montage. I'll speed the film up, give you some music. We'll see if I can beat my 5-minute time. Wow, that was a close one. And time! Man, this happened to be the last time I accidentally cleared the time again. All right, folks, well, we're here at the end of the video. I just wanted to bring you along for some of the minor upgrades I've made. I think in the part 3, we're gonna work on the pulsating, and we're gonna try a couple of different mounting points for the lights. And also, I wanna try the wide angle lens. See what kind of improvements we can make. You know, there's all kinds of extravagant things we could do for a fantastic night vision, but I'm trying to keep the cost as low as possible. Here's what it looks like from the outside. That purple glow obviously isn't quite as bright. To the human eye, it's a very dull, dull red glow. But as you can see, it's pitch black out here, and if I switch back to the camera, you can see me pretty well, can't ya?